Welcome back.
Before we begin, let me just say that Sheila from Cortland Manor, New York says, as an avid tea drinker and not a coffee drinker, I appreciate Tea 101 today. We tea drinkers are always ignored.
Not today. Today we shine the spotlight on tea drinkers.
It is February. It's continuing with a lesson in all things tea. Here with some, these are tea hands, if you want. Here to teach us how to make a tea-rific tip. The perfect spot of tea is the culinary director at large for food and wine, Justin Chapple.
Justin! Good to see you, pal.
Thanks so much for having me here.
A double kiss.
Yes, they
Isn't
do.
that correct?
Is that proper?
I think that's like a French thing, but in England, they probably do it too.
Yeah, sure.
So let's start with the true teas.
Yes. So, well, first of all, I was watching backstage, and so you're a little skeptical today
I'm just
on
saying,
what you're going to learn.
You put the kettle on the flame and then done.
So in all my years of food and wine, you know, a lot of people think that tea is just about putting a tea bag into a mug and adding hot water.
Right.
But believe it or not, it's not that way at all. And we're going to start with the varieties of tea.
So true versus herbal teas.
True versus herbal. So herbal we have here, but we're going to really talk about true tea because this is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you do not know this.
Okay.
So within the true tea family, you start with white tea, which is right over here. Then you have your green tea, your oolong, and your black tea. Now, what do you think these four teas have in common?
Caffeine.
No. Well, yes, they do have that. So that was a trick question.
Winning again.
But take a little look over here to the left. This is a tea bush. They all come from the same plant, if you could possibly believe that. So many people think that green tea is its own plant.
So it's just the finish of the leaf?
Are you saying there's a tea bush?
There is a tea bush. There is. It's called Camellia sinensis, without getting too technical. But it is a tea bush, and the only thing that differentiates these four teas is the process at which they are dried.
No.
Okay.
Yes, so white tea is picked really early on when it's still kind of young. The green tea is very slightly fermented. And then the oolong and the black tea are much more fermented, which means they oxidize, and that gives them their color, that gives them their extreme flavor. And that's really the only difference in these four teas.
So these are all siblings?
They're all siblings. So you have like the little niece here, you have the cousin, you know, the older brother-in-law who lives off across the country.
Yes. And then what's happening here?
Okay.
This is not from the tea bush.
No, this is definitely not from the tea bush over here. So herbal teas is really all the other things that you can make tea out of. So you can use fresh ingredients like mint or lemon verbena. You can use citrus, apples, cinnamon.
And you just
roots.
dry it? Is you're drying it?
Well, so you can make herbal teas out of fresh ingredients, or you can make them out of dried ingredients, which is, I think, what we're all used to, right? So you have flowers like hibiscus and chamomile, or you have the blends that sometimes combine citrus and all that sort of
Last night, I was saying I made a rose petal, fennel, turmeric root, ginger root tea before I went to sleep.
And I said that you should be the one teaching this lesson here.
You are so fancy. I don't even know what I mean. Fennel.
It prevents gas, Kelly. That's why I do it.
Loose teas also prevent gas.
Oh.
So let's talk about loose teas. So when you talk about your dried teas, there's two ways of buying it. You can buy it, you know, in the bags
bag.
like you do.
The way God intended.
Or so you think. Because really, I think he probably intended for you to buy loose tea because it's whole and just barely crumbled leaves that are lightly dried. Now, the thing is, this is probably the better way to brew tea at home. Yes, because you're going to get a more intense flavor, stronger, more full. You're going to get more antioxidants from it. But tea bags are super convenient, right? So you have your everyday square ones. These are also square. The round ones, which I'm going to give you here, and I'm going to let you pour a little in here. Just use the handle. So this is a round tea bag, and it's designed to fit right into the bottom of the mug so that the water kind of circulates around the tea bag better than a square one.
Justin, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Which tea's best to drink at night to go to sleep, and which tea's best to drink in the morning to wake up?
Well, I would say maybe a chamomile at the end of the night because it's very herbal and it's kind of calming.
Put you out?
And then maybe for a morning tea, you want to do a breakfast tea,
like
a black tea, yes, because it's higher in caffeine. So let's talk really quickly about the pyramid bag, which gives you the best of both worlds. So you're getting the loose tea in bag form. So you're getting, you know, the convenience, but also you're getting a fuller tea.
This looks elegant here, doesn't it?
It's very fancy.
But these are good to put on your eyes.
Yes,
the chamomile
afterwards. Really?
tea bags on your eyes. Yes. Right? Am I...
I think that it's true, and so don't throw away your tea bags.
What about
recycle, reuse.
Temperature and steep time.
So, well, that's a really good question. So for all your teas, you're gonna want a different temperature and a different steep time. So for your lighter teas, like your white tea and your green tea, you're gonna go at a lower temperature and you're gonna steep it for less time. So maybe like 160, 170 degrees for about 3 minutes.
Okay.
When you're talking about your darker teas, like your black teas, you wanna go for a higher steep temperature, like maybe 200 or boiling, which is 212 degrees. And you're gonna wanna steep it for about 5 minutes. Now, when you get to your herbal teas, that's when you go full on boiling and you want to go for like 7 minutes because you want to extract as much flavor as possible.
It also comes in a can, too. For all today's tips or more information on Justin or Food and Wine, visit kellyandryan.com. Justin Chapple, thank you for coming.
I stand corrected.